What's going on, guys? Just got done the last training day of the week. It was pause deadlifts and it was pause squats and deficit deadlifts. So both variations of, the big three. So got me thinking, talk about some of my favorite variations to improve the main lift, squat, bench, deadlift. And honestly, for all three, it might be the same variation: pause, squat, bench, or deadlift, and even long pause. If you're not doing pauses right now on any of the lifts, mainly bench, because that's the one that requires a pause in the meet, most people aren't going to be doing pause, squat, or deadlift unless it's intentional. So if you're not pausing your bench, even adding a slight pause, a second, is going to definitely increase your bench. Probably one of the worst plateaus I've ever experienced was on bench. It was probably 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago. I got up to 365, and I stayed at 365 for a long time. It was probably a good year. Maybe in that year I got 370, but it was basically I was around 365 for a whole year. And that's because I wasn't doing any pause work. At that time, I was pretty much bodybuilding, bodybuilder style training. And so I didn't really think to do pause reps. Once I implemented pause reps, my bench, seriously, within 6 months, I'm pretty sure that's what took me from like 365 up to around 385 to 405. Maybe 6 months, that's all it took. Just implementing pause bench. And that was just a second pause. Now, once I've gotten more into, actually training specifically for powerlifting, now when I do pause variations, it's usually a longer pause, 2-3 seconds, and even increasing the pause, that has again blown up my bench, blown up my deadlift. My squat's still poverty level, but that's okay. But it is getting better. I've implemented a lot more pause squats. If you follow me on Instagram, you can see that's been like my variation over the past like 4 to 6 weeks. And although I haven't tested anything, I know for a fact my squat is stronger than ever right now. Just started doing pause deadlifts, and I know that's going to definitely transfer over into a bigger deadlift, just from the experience I've had with the other lifts. So that's my recommendation. If you're looking for, some variation work, try pausing or long pausing. Just to give you a couple others, probably like my second options for, the three. Deadlift, I would say deficits. And me personally, I don't like to do a huge deficit. Sometimes you'll see guys doing like 4 or 5 inches. I think that changes the mechanics of the lift too much, so the transfer might not be the same. So me personally, I like to do 2-3 inch deficit, usually 3 inch. Seems to benefit me a lot, and I can maintain similar mechanics to my competition stance and form. Benching, probably close grip. Again, I'm tricep dominant because triceps, as you might have seen. And so obviously a close grip bench is really going to target my triceps. Also, it increases the range of motion. So I really like close grip. And for squat, I don't even know. Oh, front squats. Front squats were what my variation was for the first 6 to 8 weeks of this training cycle. So, again, never really implemented them like very strict on any of my previous programs. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna give front squats an actual chance. 6 to 8 weeks, and I think that had a big benefit in my squat as well, because even the following weeks after I switched front squat to like my next variation, my competition squat day, which is like the first day of the week for me, 3-4 weeks after that, I literally was like hitting rep PRs. So I know the front squats definitely helped. So again, for deadlifts, squat, and bench, my favorite is going to be pause or long pause. And then like a second option for deadlift would be deficits. Bench, it would be close grip. And for squat, it would be front squat. So hopefully this helped you guys out. Definitely if you're stuck on a plateau with any of the big three and you're not using variation movements, you gotta get them in there. Maybe if you're only hitting that lift once a week, maybe you even just stick with the variation for a training block, maybe 4 weeks, just to kind of switch it up, target the muscles differently. It's definitely going to benefit you. All right, guys, have a good one. Like the video if you liked it. Share if you think this can help anyone, and subscribe if you haven't. I know you haven't. 70 subscribers, come on now. All right, guys, have a good one.